Don't get me wrong.
Leftist streamers, you're not supposed to do the same thing. So here, Octosquiddies, a member on Twitch, asked a good question. Jake and Anna, please tell us who the left is that you keep referring to and never defining. I'd really like to know as a self-ascribed leftist. No problem, because that we do that sometimes on the show. You don't know what we're referring to. Do we mean the whole left wing? Absolutely not. Okay, the majority of the left wing is perfectly reasonable on this.
Are they? You and I.
We have a massive disagreement.
So Hassan Piker is Seng's nephew, and they just want to deny the whole migrant thing that's happening. And many leftists are saying that. I'm like, yo, it's happening right in front of your face. I can see it.
Well, there it is.
Are
they? You and I might have a disagreement here, Cenk.
Yeah, we have a massive disagreement. You give those tiny little leftist streamers way too much
They're
credit.
not tiny little leftist streamers, Cenk. Hassan called the city council member racist for helping this woman move out of that. But like, that's not a small streamer. That's a huge streamer. That's not a small person.
Okay, I mean,
do you get what I'm saying?
I mean, what are we going to get into this now?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
We're going to be like Trump with crowd sizes?
No, but okay.
But hold on, Anna. Hold on.
The Democrats come out and push back against that narrative, Cenk. Just the mainstream Democratic Party, do they come forward and push back against that narrative? Because you have the Democratic governor denying all of this. So I don't know who on the left wants to do something about it.
And this is my Netflix. When two left-leaning people try to find a middle ground and you start realizing, whoa. I think we're talking to a centrist right there.
Traitor!
Same individual, he's asked to elaborate on what it is that he likes about Donald Trump. So let's watch.
Our values, and it has our back.
Describe that for me. What are your values that Donald Trump shares with you then?
Parents in control of their children, being able to make choices for your family. America's being assaulted. Open borders, all the issues. We all know the issues. And nobody stood under the attack that Trump stood under. And look what he's done. He's hanging in there. He's for us. He loves this country. And I'm going to support him to the end. I hope he wins. We need him.
If this guy was interviewing me, he might be fishing for a burger.
He has our values, does he? What's your values? I mean, you don't mean family values. He's raw dogging porn stars, and he says terrible things, does terrible things. You don't mean family values. So what values are you talking about? Oh, he believes in putting parents in charge of children. That means I don't like gay people. I'm sorry, that's what it means.
That means he wants to be able to make a decision or help.
A decision about what?
He doesn't want schools making.
What are you talking about? We just want to protect our kids in a specific way, and you're just telling certain parents, you don't have the right to do that. But I do. Oh, you want to protect your family? You're the bad parent.
Believes in putting parents in charge of children. That means I don't like gay people. I'm sorry, that's what it means.
That means he wants to be able to make a decision or help.
A decision about what?
He doesn't want schools making decisions
about
his kids.
About gay people.
It's
and racism, right? He doesn't want racism taught.
Even Anna is like, hey, far leftist, you went a little too far from me too. Am I now a centrist?
Traitor!
About gay people.
It's
and racism, right? He doesn't want racism taught. Those are the two issues, Anna. Those are the two issues in the schools.
Those are not the two issues, okay? One of the issues that you're totally downplaying right now, not even mentioning, is that some school districts want to, let's say a student comes out and identifies as transgender, school districts want to support that student and, help him or her through that transition without ever having to notify the parents. I think there are issues there.
Okay,
and I do not begrudge parents for being concerned about that.
Anna, I agree with you. But you're finding a sliver of an issue. That guy's not talking. He doesn't even know that. All that guy knows, and what 98% of them know is, I don't like them teaching about gay people in school, okay? And I don't like them saying, oh, we were racist back to slavery and Jim Crow and redlining. Come on, we know what it means. That's 98% of their efforts in schools. And then when he says open borders, there aren't actually open borders. What he's saying is, I don't like Latino.
Wait.
I don't know what I have to say. This is not my normal voice, but I'm like, oh.
Come on, we know what it means. That's 98% of their efforts in schools. And then when he says open borders, there aren't actually open borders.
What?
What he's saying is, I don't like Latino immigrants. They don't look like me. I don't like them. That's my values. Sorry. Republicans, I wish you were better. Not all of you, but a lot of you. The MAGA guys, that's why he says, as long as you're like us, I don't mind if you shoot someone on Fifth Avenue or in front of the White House. I don't mind because you're us and not them.
If you went to the Aurora buildings where many of the migrants are keeping their own people in a mini prison because they need to pay money, and if they don't, bada bing boom bash, he would say, that's Trump's fault.
Hey people, I mean, I want parental control in schools. So that's the reality. You can see it all over the tapes.
That is your interpretation. None of that was actually said. It is what you have taken out of his statements there.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And hey, by the way, guys. By the way, guys, you guys all be the judge.
Just like anyone can watch the statements you made in regard to the story out of Israel today and say, you know, he said what he said, and I could either take what he said at face value or just put words in his mouth and call him an anti-Semite. That would infuriate you, no?
Traitor. You are a traitor.
Anna, okay, look, we have a different interpretation. Okay, we have a different. I saw the tape.
I don't agree.
I've seen 100 tapes.
I don't agree with that guy. Let me be clear about that, okay? But putting words in his mouth, I think is unnecessary. You can actually address what he said there without extrapolating and implying that he said something that he didn't actually say there.
So what's the benign interpretation? He's worried about taking jobs when we have 3.7 unemployment, record unemployment. He's not worried about losing jobs. He's worried about losing his culture.
You just straight up said, you just totally disregarded everything he said.
No, I didn't. I went exactly on what he said.
You boiled it down to, he's just racist. That's what you boiled it down to.
Because that is what he's saying.
Okay, that's your interpretation.
What do you think? There's a lovely interpretation of open borders and these goddamn immigrants coming in?
Let us investigate.
Hey, that's racist.
They genuinely think there are open borders. Okay, anyway, whatever.
And then what's the open borders do? What does it do? What does it do? Does it take our jobs? It doesn't take our jobs.
They think drug traffickers and MS-13 are pouring into the country and causing crime and violence and threatening their lives. That's what they think because that is what they hear in the media.
So that is fair. So that is what they hear on Fox News all the time, so they're scared.
Let's check it out.
Says this is a picture of gang members breaking into a vacant apartment so they could move a Venezuelan family in and then collect rent. This is our business plan, one gang member told a housekeeper. If he, the property manager, doesn't like it, we'll fill him with bullets.
I have a dream.
The report authors called the gang's behavior brazen and further exhibits the suspected gang members' sense of comfort and control, consistent with their taking over the property and not fearing law enforcement or the property management. It was sent to Aurora officials on August 9th, with the investigators saying, the evidence we have reviewed indicates that gang members are engaging in flagrant trespass violations, assaults and battery, human trafficking, sexual abuse of minors, unlawful firearms possession, extortion, and other criminal activities, often targeting vulnerable Venezuelan and other immigrant populations.
You're not calling them racist, you're not calling them right-winger, and they're doing exactly the thing to the people that you're saying that you're protecting. But you don't dare to call them out, because if you call them out, you're afraid we're forcing you to call out the citizen that just want to live there.
You'll never understand what it's like to be me.
Is he paying rent? How does he get his money?
He says he works McDonald's and other places.
According to the law firm's report, the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua has threatened to kill and in certain instances has apparently actively attempted to kill members of Whispering Pines management.
Now you understand in the previous video, the father opened the door, pushed the son away. Yo, there might be gang members or something like that. And then he didn't want to snitch because it's normal. You don't snitch over there in the poor neighborhoods.
Do you have a less violent menu I could take a look at?
Has apparently actively attempted to kill members of Whispering Pines management. The report says a consultant for the property management company was severely beaten and stomped by gang members and was hospitalized. The alleged incident recorded by building cameras with screenshots attached to the letter. The report relies on a property manager who said that gang members allegedly stabbed a Whispering Pines resident for refusing to pay rent to the gang. He also told the investigators the takeover began last November.
And many people deny that because they're afraid they might be seen as racist. And I'm like, think about the poor people that want to live there, that they give a room, that they keep visiting so they can pay them back. You don't care about that part of the culture. They'll manage, but we need to give them a place to live in terror. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, you leave your country because the crime is so high.
Goodbye.
Only to leave, and then the people that you try to leave from follow you, and you're like, hey man, you came also? Yeah, I came also. You better pay rent.
Welcome back to me screaming.
Import a good eye that looks normal like the one that seems to be normal. I don't know.
Venezuela, by the way, has the lowest murder rate ever right now. What does that tell you?
Yeah, all the murderers are gone.
They're here.
Yeah. So is it true that they're emptying prisons? I mean, is this
not
Cuba all over again?
This is not a hearsay. There was a memo by DHS last year admitting that, in fact, they knew that Venezuela's government was emptying their prison and rehabilitation centers or drug centers, releasing them on purpose because they knew with instructions to make, if you were going to get out, you're going to make your way to the U.S. That is not, we're not making that up. That's true. It was reported on, and DHS admitted that was happening. And in fact, it has. El Tren de Aragua is heavily present in our country now.
Okay, so you're telling me that DHS has acknowledged that Venezuela, for example, is emptying their prisons and their rehabilitation centers with the understanding you get out if you leave here and go to the United States.
Yes.
And DHS has in writing said, we know that's happening. We know they're coming here. We're processing them in and have no idea where they are.
Correct.
How many people are we talking about?
Millions. In just Venezuela alone.
We're talking about in the last 2 or 3 years, we've had estimated how many people have come across the border.
My estimation, the official number, I think, is about 10 million.
Yeah, it's about 10, 11 million. Yeah, that's the official.
But my personal opinion, I think we're about 15 to 18 million.
It's not like they're going to work at McDonald's. Oh, maybe some. Those that have kids. I wonder how many people are coming with their kids compared to all the men that are coming without nothing.
And will put the Department of Justice of the United States back in the business of justice. We will double the Civil Rights Division and direct law enforcement to counter this extremism. We will hold social media platforms accountable for the hate infiltrating their platforms because they have a responsibility to help fight against this threat to our democracy. And if you profit off of hate, if you act as a megaphone for misinformation or cyber warfare, if you don't police your platforms, we are going to hold you accountable as a community.
So let me get this straight. You're going to expand again. That means you're going to tax people more. But at the same time, if I want to talk about migrants or whatever, you're going to go after the people that help me identify an issue that I can poop in the public so they can make an informed decision.
Communism forever. I think all corn stars, male and female, I would associate with having low IQs.
I would associate narcissistic bigots with having low IQs.
So then you should stop being a narcissistic bigot.
That's not me.
Are you sure?
I know, your audience is kind of biased, so we definitely can't ask them. But I'm pretty sure if we asked the majority of everyone else, they would probably agree.
That I'm narcissistic for giving you facts?
No, that you're narcissistic for sitting here trying to tear people down and gaslight them into
what did I guess to?
Fumbling and up their answer to hope you get the reaction you want out of them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were super high IQ. Shouldn't people not be able to do that to your super high IQ self? You've been fumbling the entire night.
I really haven't.
You literally told the entire audience that a person stealing a Snickers bar potentially could have the same trauma as an SA victim.
I did not say the same trauma.
You better rewind the tape. You're in a convenience store and a robber walks in and he steals a Snickers bar from the clerk and then he walks over and SAs you. Who was more victimized?
Everyone's a victim.
That is a perfect analogy how certain politicians handle the crime in their city.
Literally told the entire audience that a person stealing a Snickers bar potentially could have the same trauma as an SA victim.
Because they don't see the difference because they're helping everybody at the same level. Unless you're white.
So I keep asking myself now, why me?
Because he's the best for the country. Because he's the best for the
Look at this weird guy. Yeah, he's never lifted a weight in his life.
They call us weird.
Are you really gonna hit me? Are you really gonna hit me? You want to go to jail for assault? You look like you look like Thomas Crooks. You look like Thomas Crooks. You're crazy. You better get out of here before you get your ass kicked. What a psycho.
That was a perfect representation of somebody that's very confident on a keyboard until they realize, oh my god, I actually need to fight this.
Don't get me wrong, makosa kita bong. Put the fire na mi blonde kush hash purple skunk criollo colombici jam jam. Turlo que ta verdetta welcome.